Don't ever believe.
You know what the darkest conspiracy theory about aliens is? I don't know if I'm ready for it. That Earth is essentially a farm, and human beings are the vessels that contain souls, and they want us because this is how they create souls. And so they're farming us. They've created us. So we started off as primates, and through some sort of genetic intervention, I'm not saying it bleeds. I'm just saying that this is like top of the food chain, put your tinfoil hat on super tight, that they farm us, and that the whole reason why human beings are involved in this conflict, constant conflict, it's all of it is to increase our competition with each other, increase our ability to control resources, which will increase our technology, which will ultimately lead to us creating this being that we're going to create. You know what the darkest...
Don't ever believe for a second that there's not a group of uber wealthy people that are making a lot of things
Oh,
happen.
no, I believe that wholeheartedly.
Yeah.
But guess what? We would never know who they are. We wouldn't know their name.
You know Robert Johnson?
No.
He's the first person to sell their soul to the devil. He's the famous story about the guitarist that didn't know really how to play. He disappeared, came back to his town after a couple months. All of a sudden, he was the greatest guitar player the world has ever seen. And he was making hits on hits on hits. In one of his songs, the lyrics said he met the devil at the crossroads.
Yeah.
He went down on his knees, and now he walks with him. The theory is that he sold his soul literally at the crossroads, because that's apparently like where you find the devil in those times.
Yeah.
And he gave him his guitar and tuned it, and he said,
Once you take this guitar, I have your soul.
he just took the guitar and ran with his music and ended up doing really well. His family didn't like that he played music. At the time, the blues were considered the devil music. The girl he was married to, that girl's parents hated him so much because he was a blues player. He got her pregnant and she was gonna have a baby. When she had the child still in her stomach, she decided, okay, I'm gonna go. You know Robert Johnson?
No.
The darkest conspiracy theories, the evolution theory, is fake. This theory states that the meteor that killed the dinosaurs wasn't a meteor. It was a spacecraft that was full of humans that traveled through the universe to find a new planet. This would also explain why ancient civilizations like the Incas and Egyptians were so advanced and would disprove the theory that human evolved from a fish, and that Darwin and all the schools just taught you some crap.
If you want to make cool edits like these but don't have any editing skills, then you
The darkest conspiracy theories ever. The Bob Ross theory. Bob Ross was a famous painter on television. The theory claims that Bob Ross is actually a serial killer. It's because of one of his paintings. It's called Happy Little Accidents, which depicts an exact crime scene where 5 bodies were found. What do you think about this theory? Darkest conspiracy theories ever. The Bob Ross theory. Bob Ross was...
There's a chicken quiche with cremini mushrooms, baby spinach, and feta cheese.
So, I don't know if you know, but in real life, you have your own conspiracy theory online.
I do?
Yeah, that you and Emma Mackey are the same person. And you speak French in this film, which she is.
Her French is far better than mine. That will put the conspiracy to rest immediately.
So, I don't know if you know.
Theories you never thought of. What if the meteor that hit Earth and killed the dinosaurs was actually a UFO and we're the aliens? That's crazy. Study reveals that after you die, you're conscious long enough to actually know you're dead. Is that true? Supposedly, watching a horror movie burns nearly 200 calories in just 90 minutes due to increased heart rate. That's nuts. There are speculations that the Queen of England is given some form of anti-aging medicine because she's looked the same for 20 years. Wow. And theories say in the event of a zombie apocalypse, humans would be wiped out in less than 100 days. So long. Theories you never thought.
Darkest conspiracy theories, part 2. Earth virus theory. This theory thinks of Earth as if it's a big living thing and people are like germs making it sick. Just like our bodies make things called antibodies to fight off germs when we're ill, Earth also has its way of fighting off its own germs, which are us in this case. The Earth does this through things like natural disasters, droughts, and wildfires. All of these events are Earth's way of trying to clean off itself from the germs that are making it unwell. And those germs are people in this theory. If you have the guts...
Apparently they just released a brand new type of ketchup. People are saying that it's called clear ketchup and that it tastes 10 times better than regular red ketchup. Allegedly, people are enjoying clear ketchup so much.
There's clear ketchup. Like, it looks like Jello. That's disgusting. I would not eat that. And they're putting it on pizza.
That it keeps keeps selling out super quickly. So it's really hard to find in the grocery store. Red ketchup has always tasted super gross to me. So how did I just find out about clear ketchup today? I have no idea how they made the ketchup go from red to clear. But I went to the store as fast as I could to try to find some clear ketchup. And I was getting really worried because all I was finding was the gross red ketchup. But when I was about to give up, I saw something in the back of the shelf. It was the last bottle of clear ketchup they had in the store. I could barely see it because it was blending in with the shelf. I raced home to try it. And you guys will not believe this? Apparently, they just released a brand.
One of the most popular conspiracy theories is the belief that the U.S. government was involved in the assassination of President John F. Kennedy in 1963. This theory claims that the U.S. government was involved in a plot to kill Kennedy, and possibly other governments.
The darkest conspiracy theories. The advanced ancient civilization. This theory says that at the time of the Egyptians, the civilization was far more advanced than it is now. And this is also how the pyramids could be explained. Because why are the pyramids in the exact same order as the stars in the Orion's belt? And what is more interesting? Why is the speed of light and the altitude of the pyramids the exact same number? So many apparent coincidences, and they don't stop there. Because look at the motherboard of a modern computer and compare this to the lineup of the pyramids. Do you see a certain pattern I hear? Or is it just another made-up theory?
Turn off the AC?
Yeah, turn off the AC so it's hot as hell in there.
Word.
And then movies usually dim the lights when it goes on. The lights stay on the whole time, and people complain.
So they don't want to stay there and watch the whole thing.
Yeah.
Think about it, bro. If you're trying to expose like a certain group that has a lot of money, they can do everything possible to try and make that not be out there. Now, there's a deeper conspiracy onto that.
Okay.
And not a lot of people know about this one. But, and I'm not saying it's not a good movie.
Yeah.
I truly believe it's a good movie and it has a good message, which is a good message to be aware about these things. But there's a deeper conspiracy. This is not my theory.
Yeah.
But they say, and there's proof, that the creator and director, I think even the actor that's in the movie, Sound of Freedom, is a Freemason. Turn off the AC.
Scary conspiracy theories that actually turned out to be true. First is the Project Sunshine conspiracy. In the wake of Hiroshima and Nagasaki, the United States government commenced a major study to measure the effects of nuclear fallout on the human body. The conspiracy was the US government was stealing dead bodies to do radioactive testing. And this is the truth. The government was stealing parts of dead bodies, and because they needed young tissue, they recruited many agents to find babies and children who recently died and take samples of them or even take their limbs. And they did all this without notifying or getting permission of the more 1,500 grieving families. The crazy thing is, the world only found out about the horrific Project Sunshine half a century later.
Here are some of the creepiest conspiracy theories.
Theories you never thought of. There are theories that the green falling code in the Matrix is just a bunch of sushi recipes. That'd be lit. Theories suggest people who play video games are more likely to be a lucid dreamer than those who don't. That's kind of crazy. Pit bulls are ranked as one of the most affectionate and least aggressive dogs. They're only aggressive when trained as such, like for illegal dog fighting. This isn't snow, it's just spider season in Australia. Count me out. During the Roman times, salt was worth more than gold, and soldiers were sometimes paid in salt, hence the word salary. Who knew that? And a company is making a third eye camera to help you walk safely while using your smartphone. That actually makes sense.
These are some conspiracy theories that turned out to be true. So Bohemian Grove was an alleged meetup spot for the rich and powerful to rub shoulders and talk, which was later confirmed to be the site where Oppenheimer would work on the Manhattan Project alongside many of the world's most powerful men. The CIA admitted to the existence of a long-believed heart attack gun, which would pierce victims with shellfish toxin and kill them within minutes, making their deaths seem of natural cause.
Is this the most insane coincidence in history? Okay, you're familiar with Abraham Lincoln and John F. Kennedy, right? Abraham Lincoln was elected to Congress in 1846. John F. Kennedy, 1946, 100 years later. Abe was elected president in 1860.
So there's a theory that Justin Bieber is only married to Hailey Bieber for his green card.
The visa?
Visa,
okay.
And
there's a statue that came to light recently. It's an old statue, but look, you know who this is? He has wings, and there's a chain on his ankle, right? And he has a crown. It's obviously Lucifer.
Yeah.
Now check this out. What foot is this? You've seen this statue before.
Wait.
I know you've seen this statue before.
Is that the one in...
That's the foot of the Statue of Liberty.
Oh,
yeah.
I heard about this.
Now this statue, there's 7 points on his crown, right? Statue of Liberty has 7 points on its crown.
No.
Now, what's by its feet? An apple. Where is the Statue of Liberty? The Big Apple. What do they call New York City? The Big Apple, fam. And you know why it's holding a torch? There's a statue.
Brody, can you tell me the top 10 most popular conspiracy theories of all time?
Jeffrey Epstein did not unalive himself.
Yes!
Right in hell, Epstein. What about the government controlling the weather? They've been doing that for years.
Yes!
Joe Biden, you ain't Storm. The greatest conspiracy theory of all time is the JFK assassination.
Number 1.
Who did it? Was it Lee Harvey Oswald?
No, that was Abraham Lincoln. Oh, no.
Birds don't exist.
Number 10. They might be government drones. Open up your third eye.
9/11 inside job.
Yes. Number 4. Who knows? Maybe W.
Now watch this drive. O.J. Simpson was Khloe Kardashian's father.
That's got to be top 15.
The moon landing was OD fake.
Number 2.
That was trash CGI. Tupac is still alive.
Oh, that should be top
What?
10, but it's not.
Flat Earth.
Yes. Number 5.
Stupid. Aliens exist? Roswell, Area 51.
Yes!
Yes!
Good!
The Pope wasn't Catholic.
No.
Was Princess Diana disappeared?
Yes!
Oh my.
That's number 3.
Michael Jackson was always white.
No.
People might say that COVID was a hoax.
Population control.
Scariest conspiracy theories in the world that will seriously change your life. Don't ask me what part it is, because I have no clue. So today, this is genuinely mental, like mental. This is the 21 Club and the theory of selling your soul to the devil. So there's a whole theory, of course, that you can sell your soul to the devil in exchange for fame and fortune, whatever. And it's believed that a lot of celebrities have done this. But there is some evidence suggesting it is possible, and honestly, it's crazy. Now before I start, no disrespect, I'm not saying I believe in any of this. It's all just information, and you guys can make your own minds up. With that said, let's go. There are tons and tons of celebrities out there, such as Juice WRLD, X, Lil Peep. They all died around the age of 21. Their deaths were all very suspicious, kept under the water, and no one really knows exactly what happened. They all have some other stuff in common, which I'll go into, and it is genuinely mental. So to start with, we all know Juice's was very weird. Look at the tweet he put out in 2017. My goal is to get overly famous, shine for a couple years, then fake my death. Fake my death. What? And even with X, there was tons of stuff going around about his death. The music video that came out literally 2 days after he died was him coming out of a coffin. Like, what? Coincidence or not? Now this is where scariest conspiracy theories in the...
I think it's a great time for us to take another look at the dead internet theory, which we might need to start calling the dying internet theory. The original dead internet theory was basically the idea that the entire internet died in 2016, and everything posted on it since has been artificially generated content created to gaslight the entire world. That was a bit of a reach at the time, but it sort of looks like that's the future that we're headed to. 100 million people use ChatGPT every single week, and 70% of Gen Z...
Do you know who the Statue of Liberty actually is? No. Lucifer. The Statue of Liberty?
The world's scariest conspiracy theories. Here we have conspiracy theories from the most well-known to the darkest, and today we're going to be starting off with tier 1. And the first conspiracy theory is Michael Jackson may not be dead after all. And this theory starts out with Michael being at his own funeral in disguise, wearing prosthetics and makeup to cover up. Believe it or not, but Michael has done this before to disguise himself.
Apparently they just released a brand new kind of Nutella. People are saying that it's pistachio flavored Nutella and that it tastes 10 times better than regular brown Nutella. Allegedly people are enjoying this green Nutella so much.
We gotta get this Nutella, bae. It's green and it's pistachio Nutella. And it looks good. It looks like avocado butter or whatever you put on toast. Looks real good.
That it keeps selling out super quick, so it's super hard to find in the grocery store. Brown Nutella has always tasted super gross to me. So how did I just find out about pistachio Nutella today? I have no idea how they made the Nutella go from brown to green. But I went to the store as fast as I could to try to find some green Nutella. I was getting really worried because all I was finding was the gross brown Nutella. But right when I was about to give up, I saw something in the back of the shelf. It was the last pistachio Nutella that they had in the store. I ran home as fast as I could so I could try it. And you guys will not believe that. Apparently they just released a brand new kind of...
In June 2011, the company Bing decided to send 40 employees into this random area of the desert for some apparent reason. When asked by local media, the employees just laughed and left the room, and when you search up for it on Bing, the tab closes down. But what was the actual reason for this decision? Was it a vacation, some sort of meeting, or maybe, just maybe, a really weird convention? I don't know, but when I find out, I will release part.
51 is the secret government base where they study crashed UFOs and extraterrestrials. Area 51 is one of many government bases where they have aliens. They've had to spread it out over time due to all the attention it's been getting, especially because of the storming in 2019. And they don't just study the aliens, they're actually working with them. Now, these aliens are more nefarious ones, but in exchange for their technology, the U.S. government has potentially made a detrimental deal at the expense of the American people to further themselves. Now, whether that involves being allowed to abduct a certain amount of people a year or something unimaginably worse, I'm not sure. The moon is actually made of cheese. The moon is made of rock, but it's actually hollow inside. This is where galactic beings of light meet in order to watch over Earth and discuss the state of humanity. And with more people waking up now and becoming more conscious, we as a species is starting to ascend. That's why these galactic beings are soon coming here and there's no way to stop them. The government knows this, but it's just trying to control how it gets perceived by the public so that they never fully lose control over us. Michael Jackson diddled kids at Neverland Ranch. Michael Jackson was actually killed off and replaced by a clone. That's because he always spoke out against the elites and they couldn't control him. That's why he looked so white in his later years, because it was actually cloned Michael Jackson and the technology wasn't that good. And the Neverland Story was created.
The Darkest Conspiracy Theories Part 6. The Titanic Theory. The theory says that the Titanic never hit an iceberg. J.P. Morgan, the owner of the Titanic, had two different cruise ships, the Olympic and the Titanic. He knew that the Olympic was old and rusty, so he switched the names and the colors of the two ships. The theory argues that he wanted to sink the ship because all of J.P. Morgan's business competitors were on board. None of them survived the trip. Morgan himself canceled the voyage a few minutes before the journey began. The darkest...
I can't believe I just realized Luca is connected to a famous Disney classic. Do you remember the Tower where El...
You know how in every single radio song, they always use like la 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 la. Or rah rah
The winner of the Dubai Globe Soccer Awards Best Middle East Player.
Almost everything we think we know about addiction is wrong. You get a rat and you put it in a cage and you give it 2 water bottles. One is just water and the other is water laced with either heroin or cocaine. The rat will almost always prefer the drug water and almost always kill itself quite quickly. In the 70s, Professor Alexander comes along and he looks at this experiment and he noticed something. He said, we're putting the rat in an empty cage. It's got nothing to do except use these drugs. Let's try something a bit different. So Professor Alexander built a cage that he called Rat Park. They've got loads of cheese, they've got loads of tunnels, they've got loads of friends, but here's the